Before I left the crib, Before I left the crib, had to send them to the east. Just did a mission, now I'm headed to a feast. 10 toes down when I'm stumping on the beast. 2 turned up, made some more say sheesh. Before I left the crib, had to send them to the east. Just did a mission, now I'm headed to a feast. 10 toes down when I'm stumping on the beast. 2 turned up, made some more say sheesh. 2 turned up, make the heaven say sheesh. 2 turned up, make the heaven say sheesh. 2 turned up, make the heaven say sheesh. 2 turned up, 2 turned up. Yeah. Roof still be shaking like a thunderstorm. You could turn the lights off cause my garment glowing. And I smack a Autobot when I transform. Lit on every Sabbath like somebody left the lights on. Ain't no complaining, I'm with the brothers. I stay moving with some cutters like Freddy, they eat them hunters. I won't put that on my mother, but trust me, these brothers cutting. In the words of Deacon, y'all would need bread for some of this butter. It's a feast. Hop out the bed, I've been working all week. Plus I skipped the plantation, I pissed off the Greeks. And I can't feel my face, but I ain't in my seat. We original guys, we put on for OG. I just stepped into a vibe, came alive in a party with some guys. I be sober on this high. From Atlanta down to Texas, then to Ghana with a message. Every feast they like a blessing, every feast they like a blessing. Let's go. Before I left the crib, had to send them to the east. Just did a mission, now I'm headed to a feast. 10 toes down when I'm stumping on the beast. 2 turned up, made some more say sheesh. Before I left the crib, had to send them to the east. Just did a mission, now I'm headed to a feast. 10 toes down when I'm stumping on the beast. 2 turned up, made some more say sheesh. 2 turned up, make the heaven say sheesh. 2 turned up, make the heaven say sheesh. 2 turned up, make the heaven say sheesh. 2 turned up, 2 turned up.
I move like I'm turned up every day, especially on the new moons and feast days. Ain't no time for the gossip and murmuring hate. If you ain't about the Father's business, then move out the way. You in the midst of them soldiers who stay down to ride, who be dwelling in tents until it's wartime, who be lining up scripts line upon line, stand bold and stop traffic like a stop sign. Oh yeah, we bout that, but you already know though, that's for sure though. We bout that, ain't worried about you healing, you a doormat. Now fall back, we living by the Spirit, rejoicing in our repentance, trying to turn up as you with it. My friend just hang, swing, hit the flow. Swing left and swing right, bend your knees slow. My friend just swing, hang, hit the flow. We put on for the kingdom, let's go, let's go.
Before I left the crib, had to send them to the east. Just did a mission, now I'm headed to a feast. 10 toes down when I'm stumping on the beast. 2 turned up, made some more say sheesh. Before I left the crib, had to send them to the east. Just did a mission, now I'm headed to a feast. 10 toes down when I'm stumping on the beast. 2 turned up, made some more say sheesh. 2 turned up, make the heaven say sheesh. 2 turned up, make the heaven say sheesh. 2 turned up, make the heaven say sheesh. 2 turned up, 2 turned up.
Yeah, bro, so hell no. We don't be running around the damn church praise dancing like the so-called Christians be doing that, bro. Nah, that ain't real. That ain't biblical, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you.
Yeah, bro. So, hey, don't be wearing no damn wingtip shoes when you come, man. Lord's will you make it.
Ooh, ask about the women. I heard they can't even wear blonde hair.
Yo, what she said, bro?
Yeah, so my girl said, what about the women? She asked him, why can't y'all wear blonde hair?
Hold on. Yo, bro, your girl, you got a girl or you got a wife? Hold up, now, I don't even answer that question, bro. But she said something about the blonde hair. Hold up, I'm gonna let her sister answer that question for her, all right?
All right, cool.
Get it in A, check it out A, get it in A, check it out A, it's going down A, mash it up A, mash it up, mash it up, mash it up.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You are now flying.
Where my captain at?
Southwest!
Wake up, moon outside, it's a party. Hop up, dedication, it's a party. Decay, nut, destruction, it's a party. Too loud, too lit, move with the body. Bible with the pins in a black bag. Dance, 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 dance real fast. Zonovan book, yeah, I got that. Hold up, that's an Israelite starter pack. Passover dance with a staff in hand. Feast day show for a contraband. Dancing like I'm trying to see the homeland. Pentecost first fruits to the big man. Nobody party like an Israelite. Fist in the air like it's time to fight. North the kingdom trying to party with the Judites. Bop, 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 bop on my Benjavites. We ruling like Wakanda in the king time. Meanwhile, he told us work and party in the meantime. All the Lord feasts probably start around your bedtime. Dancing in the field like a band when it's halftime. You ain't got no wine, here, have mine. Don't talk about your sorrow, this a bad time. Look, I'm just trying to tell you that it's high time for us to battle to this beat like it's drumline. Wake up, moon outside, it's a party. Hop up, dedication, it's a party. Decay, nut, destruction, it's a party. Too live, too lit, move with the body. Wake up, moon outside, it's a party. Hop up, dedication, it's a party. Decay, nut, destruction, it's a party. Too live, too lit, move with the body.
pray. Hebrews 13, 17, prophets on the scene, wash your souls clean before we go into the gasoline. Took a while to understand Psalms 111, 10. Brother calling me from Mississippi, trying to build a man. I flushed 14 grams, it made angels rejoice. It made me and Satan divorce, no spousal support. I'm running the course with my hand to the plow. I'm putting in the pebble the way Soldier James taught me how. Break it out, it strengthened my spirit when we in the building. Ain't no feeling like giving the precept for a precept given. Preach, MOV condition, teach, 7 second living. We, 2 Timothy 2:15, represent us with a common interest. Prophesy to the wind, reveal the man of sin, enduring to the end. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel. We the watchmen for Israel, cause we watch it for Israel.
Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Most High in Christ bless. Most High in Christ bless. You are here live to another episode of the Watchman Radio, the Decree of the Watchers. I am Officer Semachiah.
You know my name. This is Officer Yokanan, Chicago. Most High in Christ bless you.
Officer Abel.
We in this building.
Hey, so today we're gonna be. Bear with me. I'm multitasking.
We bringing it out. We gonna bring it out
All right,
today.
So, today we're gonna be dealing with. Just bear with me. I was looking for something.
Yeah.
I was looking for a last video.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? My man was on the video and pressing stop.
Right.
Let's read that real quick. Let me gather my thoughts. Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 17.
Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 17.
Y'all ain't got to cut that out.
Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
No, y'all ain't. I said y'all don't have to cut it out. Go ahead.
Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me.
So as we read every week we read this. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. We are the watchmen. We are the watchmen of the nation of Israel. The black man is the watchman to the nation of Israel. It's our job to examine what's going on in the community, in the news, in the world, things that have gone on for years. All of that stuff is our job to extract out of it the things that's necessary to get you to repent. To show you the things that's going on in the world that's all set up against us. Read.
When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand.
Read.
Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul.
So when we do our job and we warn the wicked, we warn you of the way of the things that's going on to save your soul. If you change, then our job is done. But if you don't change, wait, let me say it. If we don't tell you and you die, it's on us. But if we tell you and you don't take heed and you die, it's on you.
Message.
So as you were looking at all of these commandments that's coming out, all of this knowledge that's coming out, if you decide to turn a blind eye and you want to stay in Christianity, you want to turn a blind eye and say, well, we teaching is false, the blood is on your own blood is on your own hands because you rejected the truth that you heard. So that's what we here for. We are the watchmen. So we watching for your soul. We're going to bring these things out and show you, and it's up to you to decide to either apply or not apply. You say something?
Yeah, I got something I want to add to it because what you said was heavy, just going into we got to correct each other. If we don't correct each other, guess what? We are held responsible. So we cannot, if you seeing evil going on around you and you just let it happen and you say that's them folks' business, and then you got family members that's doing evil and you helping, you assist them, you aiding in the bed, and as the police would say, you are an accomplice to the crime.
You got the devil on you.
Exactly. So if you don't say nothing, you are held responsible for it. Period, point blank.
Just as guilty as the offender, right?
Exactly.
Just because you don't actually participate in it, the fact that you know of something and you don't speak on it, you got the damn devil on you, like the soundbite say. And that's what happened to our community. That's one of the major reasons why we fail. That's one of the major reasons why we stay in the current state that we in. See, they adapt the saying, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, right? They want to turn a blind eye to the things that's right there before them. Why? Because they fearful. And we got a nice little clip that actually goes into being subject to the devil, being made fearful by the things you see, which causes you to serve that fear instead of serving the Lord. All right? We're going to get into it today. We're going to bring out some clips. We're going to look at some symbolisms in movies.
Because we treat correcting each other as a sin.
Right.
We treat that like the sin,
man.
and staying out of people's business is the law. That's how we treat things in our community.
Man.
But why you trying to say something about me? This ain't none of your business.
Right.
What the hell is this?
Offended. Really sharp.
Oh, man. Big man. You know what I'm saying? So these are we have to change our thinking.
He that's without sin cast the first stone.
Right.
That's what
Don't forget the book of Nicolations.
Wow.
Only God can judge me.
Damn.
Don't forget that one.
That's one thing we lack as a people: accountability. We don't like to be held accountable.
Can't spell accountability.
So let's go ahead and pull up that first video. Today's topic is biblical symbolism in movies and TV shows. Biblical symbolism in movies and TV shows. Let's pull up that first video.
I like to see the thumbnail for that class. That title long as hell. But it's good though. Let's get it in.
Is the sound playing? Start it over.
Many of you all caught this hint in this movie.
So this movie, Leave the World Behind. Go back.
Hey, so since TikTok don't exist no more, can we not get strikes for playing their little content?
That's a good question, possibly.
All right.
So it
Play
says,
on.
Leave the world behind. There's no going back to normal.
I like that movie. That was a good movie. You saw that movie? Ain't that like Barack Obama and his wife movie that they made?
I think they helped produce it.
They helped produce it.
I was looking it up. It was some Arab guys who kind of like directed and written. It's written by them.
Directed and written. So they produced it, meaning they just provided the money for it to be created.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know if they had any insight in the actual
Input.
Yeah. Implementation or these little subtle signs. I don't know if they had anything to do with that. But. All right.
So let's go ahead and play.
Many of you all caught this hint in this movie.
Pause. So you see here they got 1619 is a little clip.
I missed that.
1619 that shows up on the screen.
That went over my head.
And if you know anything about history, that's when they came and got this. That's when they didn't start the transatlantic slave trade, but that's when it's documented they came and got the blacks, so-called, from the west coast of Africa. Go ahead. You see here they got white lion paws. Let's read that.
The White Lion was an English privateer operating under a Dutch letter of marque, which brought the first Africans to the English colony of Virginia in 1619, a year before the arrival of the Mayflower in New England. Though the African captives were sold as indentured servants, The event is regarded as the start of African slavery in the colonial history of the United States.
So play on. Then this is the ending scene of the movie. Go back. Let's read that real quick. What scripture was that they pulled?
Many of you are caught.
Revelation chapter 16, verse 19. And the great city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell. And great Babylon came in remembrance before God, to give unto her the cup of the wine of his fierceness of his wrath.
Of the fierceness of his wrath.
Of the fierceness of his wrath.
So starting from the end of the clip, going backwards, it's showing that Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed. And we know that Babylon the Great is talking about America. It's going to be destroyed. That's what it's saying. Great Babylon came and remembers before God. Remembers for what? Remembers of what they did to us. They came over here in 1492 and colonialized the northern kingdom of Israel, the Hispanics, the Native Americans, and sent them to slavery over in Spain, Europe, and all of that. That's what started the transatlantic slave trade. And then in 1619, they came and got us off the west coast of Africa. That's what became before remembers, the slavery and the turmoil that they took us through. And it says to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. That's that destruction. Read on. Let's read. You got it in the Bible?
Yes, sir.
Let's read on.
Verse 20. And every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. And there fell upon men great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed God because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceeding great.
So this plague is talking about destruction. Destruction came from the Most High to give them a reward for the things that they done to us. Now going back, it brought out, it said the white lion, that was a ship that brought us over here. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, read 15, and then we're going to jump to 68. And this is the symbolism. Y'all, what year that movie come out? Y'all know? Roughly. And this is what they do. They put little stuff like this in movies to see where we at, to see if we actually catching on. These things are not just put in movies just out of happenstance. These are clues that they put out there just to see. They testing our pulse as a people to see where we at in our mind, because they got us bamboozled with everything that's going on in sports and music and all of that. They got us distracted and all that. So they put little things like this in movies to see where the people at, to see where the minds of the people at, so they can know what they can withhold and what they can release out, to see if we actually gonna catch it. Read that, Deuteronomy 28.
Oh yeah. Also when they checking our posts, they need to do an assessment check to see, okay, what's working and what's not working.
Right.
I see that they getting too riled up in the spirit, and they causing other people to be roused up in the spirit.
Right.
And they not buying the BS that we putting out there. So what we have to do is we have to, restrict them in this area. We have to raise the cost of shit over here so they can focus more on working and not enough time being spent on teaching. So that's all it is. It's a post check. Right. Absolutely.
So let's read that real quick.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So the book of Deuteronomy was written to Israel, the nation of Israel, and this is one of the curses. It said if the nation of Israel breaks God's commandments, breaks God's rules, then curses or bad things are going to come upon them. Let's jump to 68. Let's see what one of those bad things is in relation to this clip that we just watched. Read.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt with ships. By the way,
read it again.
Say it again.
I said read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So it says the Lord going to bring us into Egypt again. Let's get the definition of Egypt. Let's get what the definition of Egypt. It says, the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. Are we able to pull that back up on the screen, that the slave, what was it called? The white lion. White lion. In that video? You got the definition?
Caught this.
Go ahead and read it.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So we know that according to the Bible, Egypt is referring to bondage. Egypt is referring to bondage. Now let's go back to 68 and read that real quick and pull up that still or that video.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So we're going to go into bondage again. Or the nation of Israel is going to go to bondage again with ships. Now let's read that on the screen.
The White Lion was an English privateer operating under a Dutch letter of marque.
Can we look up the definition of privateer real quick? Are we able to leave? We could have left the video. We could have finished reading it while y'all getting it.
Which brought the first Africans to the English colony of Virginia in 1619, a year before the arrival of the Mayflower in New England. Though the African captives were sold as indentured servants, the event is regarded as the start of African slavery in the colonial history of the United States.
Y'all got that definition? Yeah, let's pull it up.
Privateer, noun, historical. An armed ship owned and officered by private individuals holding a government commission and authorized for use in war, especially in the capture of enemy merchant shipping.
So now let's go back to Deuteronomy 28 and 68. So the White Lion was a privateer? That's what it said. So we know that privateer was a ship. The White Lion was an English privateer operating under a Dutch letter of marque, which brought the first Africans to the English colony of Virginia. So we know that the privateer was referring to a ship. Now let's read Deuteronomy 28 again.
You know, it sounds like a correlation with actually a mercenary. From that definition of what I just heard, mercenaries are people that the government hire to go to war for them. So when they were just saying a government commission, basically armed ship, why the ship got to be armed?
Right.
So they're going to go, we went to war. We actually lost a war.
Right.
That's what happened. They went over there, they lost the war with the so-called Africans, our people did, and then they were shipped off in armed ship because guess who, just like today, America supplies the weapons for all of the countries to go to war for the most part, the same thing happened back then. So they was giving the so-called Africans the weapons, and they was bartering with them to put us in captivity.
Right.
Right. Yeah, Edom, right. Esau. Right, so that's all I got.
Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So we was brought into Egypt again with ships. That's what we just read. That's what the White Lion. That's the symbolism in that movie. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
Now, in that article, they say indentured servants. They try to sugarcoat it and make it sound good. Like, no, we were sold as slaves. That's why it says, and then they always do this. It says, though the African captives, that means slaves, was sold as indentured servants. That's like an oxymoron.
You know what another word for a captive is? A POW, a prisoner of war. That's what a captive is.
A captive and an indentured servant are on two different levels.
Right.
An indentured servant, you put yourself into the servitude so that you could pay off a debt. Am I right?
We indentured servants right now.
They put that in there because it matches they rendition of Deuteronomy 28:68 in the New King James, where it say you shall sell yourselves,
but nobody will buy you.
Yeah, that's why they put that in there. Let's pull that definition of indentured servant.
Oh man,
but that's not a regular Negro word.
An indentured servant is a person who agrees to work for another person in exchange for a benefit, such as transportation to a new country, food, or the cancellation of a debt. The agreement is called an indenture or covenant.
So how are you going to be called a captive, but you also a person you agreed to work, but you captive?
Confusion, man. This Babylon. This is Babylon for real.
And then go back to the pull up captive.
Yeah.
Captive, a person who has been taken prisoner or an animal that has been confined.
Bruh. That goes back to what you said, is a prisoner of war.
All right.
Now go back to the article. So Esau crazy. It says, though the African captives or prisoners of war were sold as indentured servants, meaning they offered themselves for sale.
What?
The event is regarded as the start of the African slavery in the colonial history of the United States. That whole thing is a contradiction.
Sold as indentured servants. Right. They don't get sold. Indentured servants don't get sold. But that's why you gotta be mindful of Wikipedia, because aren't those editable like any random people can edit that? You gotta be able to look, you know what I'm saying, with some sort of level of understanding that, you know, there's some bones in there. You know, pick through it and spit out the bones.
Let's go to Joel chapter 3, to the point you said about with the prisoners of war, we lost to the Africans and they sold us to Esau. Joel chapter 3. Go straight to the point in 4.
Joel chapter 3 and verse 4. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense?
So the Tyre and Zidon is the Africans, and all the coast of Palestine is referring to the Arabs. Read.
And if ye recompense,
just to put it in there, if you didn't know, the Arabs also had us in slavery. Read.
And
long before the transatlantic slave trade, it was a sub-Saharan slave trade,
right?
Or trans-Saharan, either or. Read.
And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head.
So they did these things in an attempt to seek revenge from the Most High for not choosing them. He chose us. So they tried to punish us based on him choosing us. That makes sense?
That was it.
Read.
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold.
That's the nation of Israel. That's us, our land. Read.
And have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things.
They stole everything from us. Read.
The children also of
Judah.
Judah.
Us and everything that we had. Read.
And the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border.
So all of these things that we see in this symbolism, just in this one clip, is Bible prophecy. And they put little nuggets in there in these movies, and it goes over our head. Did I say something wrong?
No, he was saying talking to them.
Let's pull up video number 2. Y'all got anything y'all want?
Yeah, I got one thing really quick. 2nd Esdras chapter 6 and verse 9. So I got this from that clip. It shows the beginning, the quote-unquote beginning of our punishment from God, but it also shows the end of what's going to happen in this place. Who's going to be ruling? What's going to be happening? They understand that this world is going to be destroyed, and they're doing everything in their power to try to stop it, but everything is working for the good of God.
Did we come to that part in the clip yet?
Yeah, with the ship when they blew up the city.
Are they showed it blowing up?
Yeah, they showed it blow up the city at the end.
Don't mind me. Don't mind me.
All right, so give me 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 9.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world.
So the white man is going to be in power at the end of the world. They understand destruction is coming. You understand? So it says, read it again.
For Esau is the end of the world.
Esau is the end of this world. This world is going to fall. They understand it shows you the beginning when we came here on slave ship, and it shows you the end. This place will be destroyed. Read.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
And Jacob, that's talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. We're going to be able to start a new world where no more wars. All of these things, no more sickness, no more gun violence. We have to get our mind right and do what God is telling us to do, and he's going to come and rescue us from this place and save us. So this place will be destroyed by nuclear war. All right?
You know what that's telling of, too? They ain't got an original bone in their body. These people that make these movies.
Right.
Because as you're going to see, we might not be able to get through all the clips, but the majority of the movies that's out there, they based on our history, our story, our prophecies.
Right.
If it wasn't for us and our God and our Bible, this place would be like nothing.
Right.
You ever seen the Amish or the Mormons, how they get down? You seen them celebrate in church or something?
Right.
You seen clips of them, how they celebrate?
Yeah.
It's the wackest thing you ever want to see.
Yeah.
But without us, man, they wouldn't have a story. And they put the little subliminals in there to entertain you, quote unquote, but they just putting it in your face that this all that there is.
It's just like you put something right on somebody's site and they don't even see it. They like you say, it's to check our posts, to see who's actually woke, how many people woke. That's why they monitor all our channels real heavy, because they know, hey, look, we gotta check to see how much they know. And if they don't, because all they're trying to do is, guess what? See how much more time they got.
That's it. That's why they celebrate birthdays. That's why they celebrate anniversaries, because their days are marked.
Right.
So they gotta celebrate and be happy every time there's another year that they here again.
Right.
So,
all right, so you pull up the next clip.
Yeah, let's pull up that next video.
We finish this off. This finish.
Okay. So this next video, a lot of y'all probably seen this. This one been played many times.
Yeah.
And this is an older clip. Let's play that.
When I was a baby, I don't know what I saw first. My mama, my papa, or this Jesus. Now, he's the one I know and love. So let's close the subject. Jesus was black. The Bible would have said so.
But it does say so.
What are you talking about?
I read about it. It's in Revelation chapter 1, verse 14. I read about it in Muhammad Speaks. It says, his hair is like wool.
Hey, pause it real quick. You heard what he said? He said that he got it from the Muhammad Speaks. Y'all ain't got to put me on screen. He said he got it from Muhammad Speaks.
Right, I caught that earlier.
Bro, they don't even read out their Bible. Anything that's, or what they call their book, the Quran. They don't read anything out of there that's of any significance. You know what I'm saying? That's from their quote unquote founder or leader. Everything that they discover in their book, or that they discover and reveal and bring to their followers, it came from our book.
Right.
You know? Go ahead, play on.
Oh, Lord have mercy. It sure do say that, don't it?
And see, Mom, look at that hair, like wool, ain't it?
Yeah, they sure is. Judy, how come you decided to paint this?
I don't know. All of a sudden, I just had divine thoughts on my mind.
And this clip show a lot of things. This clip show a lot. Let's Isaiah, is it 29? So this clip show a lot of things, because she said that the image of Jesus, that white image of Jesus, was the first. She don't know if she seen that first or her father or her parents. She said something like that. So the thing about it is, when you in Christianity, most Christians don't read the Bible, or they read it through the filter of what their pastor said. So they'll read things like that, and it'll go right off. It'll go straight over their head. What is it? 29. What'd you say?
13.
Yep.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 13. Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth, and with their lips do honor me.
Because our people they always, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored. Blessed of the Lord. They got all these cliche sayings on how they supposedly believe in God, but then when you read out of the Bible, they don't believe it. Like she said in the clip. She said, what'd she say? She said she basically rejected that her son said that Jesus was a black man. Bruh. And she's like, oh, and then it just shows. She said, if it was true, the Bible would have said so. That statement alone is the statement of most Christians. And then when you do read it, most Christians say, oh, well, that's talking about him in his glorified body. Ain't no color in the Bible.
Niggardry at work.
ain't no color in the Bible. But you read out of the Bible and it says it plain as day. And Christians still will reject it.
You can't forget what they say. After you show them the color, they say it don't matter.
Exactly.
Even that don't mean that.
Yeah, but no, it don't matter.
Right, but then all these Catholic Bibles, all these Bibles for all these years had that white image. But it didn't. They didn't say it didn't matter then. Right. But when you show them the truth, oh no, it don't really matter. That's that slave mentality. But read on.
But have removed their heart far from me.
Most of our people, majority of our people, especially those that are in Christianity, have removed you. Even though you got them cliche sayings, you say you believe in God, you believe in the Lord and all of this stuff, you removed your heart far from the Most High God. Because when we read the Bible, you reject what the Bible say. Read.
And their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men.
It's taught by the precept of men. There's no scriptural reference that says that Christ is a white man. But our people run with that image. They got crosses and they hanging from the ceiling. They got all these paintings on the wall with no biblical proof. Then when you give them biblical proof, they're like, "No, but pastor said that's following the precept of men." Now go to John chapter 7 and verse 38, because we gotta keep things in a proper perspective. Because we're gonna read it just so you know that it wasn't no script on the show. It wasn't scripted. It's actually in the Bible. Read that.
John chapter 7 and verse 38. He that believeth on me.
So this is Christ speaking. If you got a Bible where the text of Christ is in red, this is Christ speaking. He said, he that believeth on me, read.
As the scripture had said.
As the scripture said. So we got to believe on Christ as the scriptures say. Read.
Out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water.
You're going to get understanding when you believe on the scriptures. When you believe on Christ as the scripture said. And the scriptures describe how Christ looked. It described what Christ taught. It described what he did while he was on the earth. And we're supposed to follow after him. But most Christianity don't follow after Christ. Christianity is the doctrine of men. It's the precepts of men. Now let's go to Revelation chapter 1 and verse 14.
Revelation.
If possible, can we do we got like an image of the Bible we can pull up? Y'all got something real quick so the people can see that this is coming out of the Bible. I know this is like impromptu.
Yeah, I got a lot.
Huh?
I got a lot. But we got videos too. Yeah, bring up them images. Give me while we waiting on the images to come up, give me Proverbs 24 and 17. Oh, you got it up? Because in that first video, we seen how they brought us into captivity, and then afterwards, the destruction, right? We seen the destruction of America.
Right.
Read Proverbs 24 and 17.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 24 and verse 17. Rejoice not when thine enemy falleth, and let not thine heart be glad when he stumbleth.
So what that mean? If you notice, they even put it in the movies how they utilize the Bible to actually control us, to program us, to make us think that what's in this book, you have to, because I say it this way, you have to obey me. Like in the Nat Turner movie or the 12 Years a Slave, one of the movies, the little boy was reading and he was saying he don't understand what he reading. He understand what I tell him to understand.
Right.
So they try to manipulate our understanding and tell us slaves obey your master. And they would use things like this in this Christian church today and say, don't rejoice when your enemy falls. But our enemy, this grand enemy called Edom, when he actually takes that fall like they depicted in the first movie, you think that's not going to be a rejoiceful day? You think we're not going to jump and joy and shout that the man who raped, robbed, and spoiled the nations is no longer rape, robbing, and spoiling us? I just seen this morning a video of a man who purchased a plot of land for $5,000, right? He purchased this land for $5,000, but he didn't get the parcel of land that he thought he was buying. He instead had a parcel of land, a whole block that had houses on it. And so now they're trying to finesse and use eminent domain to take it from him. They oppressing him. They're using any type of lies, trickery, and deceit to get from him what's rightfully his.
This modern day?
This modern day. So when that man who's able to enact that type of trickery, deception, and deceit, when he's no longer in power, you don't think the world gonna rejoice? Yes, the world is gonna rejoice. Give me, unless you want to bring something out.
You might be going to what I'm going to, based off what you just brought out.
Let's read that again in Proverbs.
Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 17. Rejoice not when thine enemy falleth, and let not thine heart be glad when he stumbleth.
Right. So the Christian church will teach us, love your enemy, turn the other cheek, let them smack all your cheeks, you know what I'm saying, do all that. We ain't with that. Give me Romans 8:19. Because the Lord said, listen, your enemy gonna fall. And he gonna fall so hard that this is gonna be a celebration that's gonna be named throughout all generations.
That's right.
No longer will it be said, the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of Egypt, but the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of the north. That's gonna be a celebration. Give me that, Romans 8:19.
Romans chapter 8 and verse 19. For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of God.
Everything, animals, plants, men, women, children, we all waiting on the sons of God to take form, to take shape, to get this understanding. That's why you see this right here. We need you to donate. We need you to donate to that so that we can send the prophets around the world so that everybody can get this gospel, so that everybody can actually learn what it is that the Lord has in store for his children, what he has in store for the world. So give me Isaiah 14 and 8, and then I'm going to pass it back to you, officer. Isaiah 14 and 8. Because the world is waiting. I said the creature or the trees and the animals and the people, we all waiting. And what are we going to do once this fella falls? Read.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 8.
Uh-huh.
Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us.
No feller is come up against us. If you understand anything about the Bible, it's always written in similitudes. Trees. I think it was, what is it? Mark chapter 8. It said, I see men walking as trees. So when you see the fir trees rejoicing, it's not really the trees. It's the people of the land rejoicing that the cedars of Lebanon have fallen. And you read up in the chapter, start at verse 1, it lets you know that this person that's fallen is actually the ruler of the earth. All right, so I just wanted to summarize it up real quick to show you that there are some celebrations that's going to happen when this enemy falls, and that Esau today, or the so-called white man today, likes to teach you to do opposite of what the Bible says.
That's it.
That was it.
So just to that point, we ain't gonna get to none of the videos. just to add to that point, because in Proverbs 24:17, that enemies ain't talking about the white man. It's talking about the enemies of our people. Like when you, for example, you got David and Saul.
Yep.
That's what it's talking about. So one more scripture to add to that rejoicing part. Go to Revelation chapter 12 and start at verse 9. We're going to read through to 12. And I ain't going to go through all of it. We're just going to read through, get to the point.
Revelation chapter 12 and verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world.
So right now the world is living in deception, following after the Joneses, following after the music, the sports and all of that. The whole world is deceived. They put smoke screens out when other things are going on in behind the scenes. They put Diddy out.
Absolutely.
They put what you call it, controversial things out, and our people get to running after that and following after that while they behind the scenes doing all manner of evil.
Gossip, you know?
Right.
What also they were deceived by this. The clip is going to the white man that Jesus is the white man. That's everybody believe that.
Yep.
If we go out there and teach, we say what color is Jesus. 95% of the people say it's a white man, and never seen it in the Bible, never seen it nowhere else. And all it was just presented to them at their churches. Like they say, the grandmama, the first thing she came out the womb she saw was a white Jesus.
Or when you teaching and you ask the mama, what color is Jesus? Oh, it don't matter. Or I know what color he is. Or don't nobody teach that he white. And then you ask the daughter that's with him, the 3 or 4 year old, which one is Jesus? And they point at the Caesar Bowl picture.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, how she know? Where she learned this from?
I think one time the children said that the black depiction of Christ was the devil.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, I heard that before, right?
And that's because a lot of our children actually grow up. They go into these Catholic churches and stuff like that. So that's what's being put in their brain. You finish it?
Oh, that's it. I was just adding on to what you was just saying.
All right, let's finish reading on.
He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night.
So that sound like rejoicing.
That's absolutely
and just read that first part of the next verse because it's going to say it plainly.
And they overcame him.
Well, the next verse, but read on.
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto death.
So that they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, that's the sacrifice of Christ. And it says by the word of their testimony, that's us keeping the commandments. Read.
Therefore, rejoice.
Therefore what?
Rejoice.
Therefore what?
Rejoice.
We're going to rejoice when this man is punished and put to death for the things that he have done to us. We're going to rejoice when this land is destroyed.
Right.
Because all of the evils that he have done, with all the traps that he set us up, all of that stuff, we are going to rejoice. So we gotta understand that. We gotta get out of that Christian mindset. So let's go to Revelation 1 and 14. Let's pull the scripture back up, back to what we just read out of the clip we just watched. So read 1 and 1 and then jump to 14.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
So we know the root word of revelation is to reveal. So we're reading about the revealing of Jesus Christ. Remember, we read that he that believeth on him as the scripture said. So we got to find out what the scripture say about Christ. Not only about his actions and what he taught us, but also how he looks. Read.
Verse 10. Verse 10.
Well, no. Go to 14. What we got on the screen.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
So we see, it says his head and his hairs were white like wool. That's talking about the hair on his head and the hair on his beard was white like wool. It was white and woolly, a woolly texture. Read.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
And well, you know what? When you think about that, when you look at a sheep, what color is a sheep?
White. Oh, the color of his skin, not his hair.
The hair on the sheep is white.
Right, it's white.
And the hair on the sheep is woolly.
Mm-hmm. They do got black sheep, right? That's why I was trying to say.
The majority of sheep.
What we know, we see all the time.
We know it's black sheep. Yes, we do know.
Technical,
my point
Mr.
is,
Technical.
my point is that a lot of people say that. A lot of people try to take that out and say, no, it was white like wool.
What?
And not the texture. But when you look at a sheep, their hair is woolly. They got the same type. Our hair resembles that of a sheep. So just putting that out there. But read on.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
And his feet like unto fine brass. Brass is a derivative of brown. Read on, but there's more. Read.
As if they burned in a furnace.
And that operative word is burned. Burned. If you burn anything, it turns black. It's not talking about just heating brass. It said burn.
Past tense, because that's
right.
That's the point. Past tense.
Right.
BD burned, because if it burned in the past, it's no longer in that flame. Because they'll say like it's smoldering and it's red hot because he's in the flame. No, it's past tense burned.
Right. You can pull up that. Go back up.
Yeah.
They want to make them red.
That second.
They want to make them so red.
They say they read it. You can pull up that image. Because you can look at the top.
What's them
those are shell casings, but
it's burnt though. You see?
Yeah. You can see that the top is black.
That's heavy. I never.
Yeah. It was bigger.
Damn, that's a terrible picture.
It is.
I mean, let's just so we can move on. We can just pull it up.
Yep. That's good.
So as you look at this image, these are shell brass. What they call
brass.
Hot brass. This is hot brass.
But hot brass.
And you look at it, at the tops, it's burnt. And it's dark.
So it's not white. So burnt brass ain't white or red or pink.
Right.
Okay.
Or olive color.
Oh.
So this
or Middle Eastern.
Right. This is burnished brass. It's burnt.
Oh, praise.
That was a good depiction.
So did we finish that verse?
You gonna have bullets on the brain now? Yeah.
Read on. Let's finish that out.
All praises.
And his voice as the sound of many waters.
So that's the point. We got to believe on the scriptures as Christ as we got to believe on Christ as the scripture has said.
Right.
The scripture say he's a black man.
Right.
Ain't no all these other images are false. They are all false because you can't find them in the Bible. Let's go to the video number 4.
But also to add about the image of Christ, everything that was just stated in the Bible on how he looked is totally opposite of how he's presented.
Right. Exactly.
So it says woolly hair, he got straight hair.
Right.
Burnt as brass, he got white skin. He got a loud voice, he got a soft voice in all the damn movies.
Right.
So I'm just saying everything they flipped it upside down, his whole being.
Oh, yeah, when you read in Isaiah, 52, he was not as comely. You know what I mean?
Right.
On the movies, they try to make him the most beautiful, handsome hunk.
Right.
Yep.
Everybody fawning over the way he looked. Nah, get out of here.
Yep.
Oh, this was a hit. I like this
clip.
one. Man. Bring that clip
up. I forgot what was the name of this movie? Y'all remember the name of this movie?
Nah.
It was
I ain't the movie guy, so
I don't know the name of this one. Is it that when he was he God on here?
Yeah.
I think it was the one. Yeah. With the one with Jim Carrey. Evan Almighty.
Who? Evan
the other one
Almighty.
was Bruce Almighty, right? With Jim Carrey.
Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty.
Wait, that's what this is called? Okay. So let's play it.
Ask something. If someone prays for patience, you think God gives them patience? Or does he give them the opportunity to be patient?
That's wrong. That's cold.
If they prayed for courage, it's God.
You heard what he said?
Courage.
Play that again. Oh, okay.
You can play it again, though.
If they prayed for courage, does God give them courage, or does he give them opportunities to be courageous? If someone prayed for the family to be closer, do you think God zaps them with warm, fuzzy feelings? Or does he give them opportunities to love each other?
You see the thing of, you see how she looking at him?
Yeah.
It's they I forgot how they say stuff in the world, but she's looking at him like she's starting to realize who she's talking to.
She having a light bulb moment.
Right. Go ahead.
So in that, when it says, do you think God gives you what you pray for, or give you the opportunity to experience it? That's heavy, because a lot of times we be going through trials and tribulations. We be like, why is these trials so heavy?
Right.
Before I learned this understanding, I ain't go through all this that I was going through, because you asking for the strength, you asking for the discipline, you asking for whatever you need to be so he can utilize you. He's giving you the opportunity to exercise.
Right.
If you're never given the opportunity to exercise that what you asking for, you ain't gonna never get it.
Right.
So yeah, that's a heavy point.
Message.
So go ahead, let's play it.
Prays for patience. You think God gives them patience? Or does he give them the opportunity to be patient? If they prayed for courage, does God give them courage, or does he give them opportunities to be courageous? If someone prayed for the family to be closer, do you think God zaps them with warm, fuzzy feelings? Or does he give them opportunities to love each other? Well, I gotta run. A lot of people to serve. Enjoy.
So I think when you look in the other, this ain't got nothing to do with the point, but in the her plate was empty.
Oh yeah.
So when he got up, he said enjoy, and if it was a full bowl, I don't know if she had already ate it. I don't remember the movie. I seen the movie a long time ago. But the point that we want to pull out of this about the symbolism that they throw in these movies, get Daniel chapter 7 and 9, because she was just talking to God. Daniel chapter 7 and verse 9. When you read when you see the movie, you'll see that. I think at the end he revealed himself or something. It's been a long. I seen the movie before, but I ain't the movie guy. I don't remember the stuff.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
But get Daniel 7 and 9.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 9. I beheld, till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
So we know that the Ancient of Days is the Most High God, the Father, because he's the Ancient of Days. He existed before there was days. Read.
Whose garment was white as snow,
and
the hair on his head like the pure wool.
The hair on his head like the pure wool, just like we just read in Revelation. A black men have woolly hair. So we know that God was a black man and he had woolly hair. That's what was just depicted in this movie. Read.
His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire.
So that's the little hidden innuendo in the movie, that God is a black man. Let's go. Y'all want to pull up something?
But it was put inside of a comedy.
Right.
That's a comedy.
Yep.
Just so that's not something that's taken serious. So they put it out there in a comedy, like, hey, we could do anything. They ain't gonna recognize.
Like they did with Black Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Remember him on Comedy Central?
Right. Did they do a movie? Was it a movie?
I don't know, but I know it was a series that I used to watch right before I came into the truth. Black Jesus.
So did we have you was done with that one?
Yeah, I'm done with that one.
Well, I had a quick script, because what he said was heavy. What he said was extremely heavy. If I could just touch on that real quick. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 10. There's many of them, but a lot of times the things that we go through is to make us better. That's how we able to be courageous, like I said. That's how we able to show that we have patience. The things that we ask for, to have more faith, to be more diligent, things that we asking for in this truth and in our lives, we got to go through things in order to obtain those skills and characteristics. All right, so read.
2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 10. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities.
Right, he take pleasures, and when he falls, he's able to get back up. He's able to make himself better. When you're going through tribulations, it makes you better and more resilient, more focused. You know what I'm saying? When everything is all easy peasy, we will leave God.
It happened over and over again.
Right. Read.
And reproaches,
Read.
and necessities, and persecutions, and distress for Christ's sake.
So when I'm catching hell,
right,
he's taking glory in these things. When he's catching hell, that's when we know that hey, God is working with me. God is trying to make me better. He's going to get me more focused, going to get me more discipline. He's going to be able to help me help the next brother that's going through these things. All right, read.
For when I am weak, then am I strong.
Because when you brought down low, that's when you could be strong. You have to put yourself, you have to never be inside of a comfortable position. You're always trying to seek growth and to do better. And that's what he was saying. When you ask him for God for more patience, you know what I'm saying? He's going to have something to come try you to see. I look, the things that used to irk you or get on your nerves, those things, you're going to have to see how you respond the next time to them. And each time you respond better and better. So, all right, that's all I have.
The world today, the popular consensus is, I want it now. I want it microwave. I want you to automatically give me what I ask you for.
Right.
And if you don't get it that way, or when they don't get it that way, they essentially stick a middle finger up to the Lord, and they don't listen to anything that it is that he has to say. So we have to learn the truth of the Bible. Listen to what the watchmen are telling you. When you're going through trials and tribulations, it's because it's a direct thing, response to what you've asked for. You asked for more money, guess what happened? You asked for increased finances, guess what happened? You start getting afflicted on your job to make you do what? Get out of that job maybe, or get additional income, find new sources of income. You know what I mean? You are put in, like you said, low situations so that you can really maneuver out of it.
Exactly.
So we're not going to get it handed to us. It was given to us before.
Right.
Remember, it was given to Adam. He had it.
Exactly.
He had the wide gate. Now we got to really strive and struggle for what it is that we want or think we deserve.
Exactly.
Yep. Read verse 9 real quick.
Verse 9.
I want to start at 7, but for time's sake, we was going to read 9.
Verse 9. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee. For my strength is made perfect in weakness.
So Christ's strength is made perfect in our weakness. Why? Because when we weak, it humbles us to realize that we ain't ish.
That's right.
We ain't nothing without we don't even have the understanding that we have without Christ giving it to us.
Right.
So when we down and we low and we being buffeted constantly, it reminds us that we ain't ish.
That's right.
That we have to rely on him. Everything we have is because he allowed us to have it.
That's right.
So that's why I say my strength is made perfect in weakness, because it keep us conscious and realize that, hey, I don't care how smart you are, how much money you got, how much whatever you got, you ain't nothing, because it's the Most High. Like to say, it's him that give you power to get wealth or something like that.
Yeah. Was that Samuel?
I know in Joshua 1:8, he talked. We ain't nothing without Christ.
You're going to learn today.
When we go through these things and we brought low all of that stuff, we have to remember. Read on.
Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmity.
I would rather glory in my weakness, in my lack. Read.
That the power of Christ may rest upon me.
That he can work through us with things that we're supposed to be doing. Because I think it's in Ephesians, it say that that we will to do the things. Let's get it. I'm butchering. I'm butchering. It says I don't know if it popped in my mind and I can't think of how it's worded. But it said that we would will to do according to his will. Philippians chapter 2 and verse 13. Because we got to understand that the wisdom that we have, the understanding that we have, even for those that may not be in the truth yet, the wits that you have, if you wise and you smart and you quick, you learn quick, the Most High gave you that ability. Right. He gave you that ability so that you can come into this truth and use that ability to build up the nation of Israel. You don't have the experiences you have for yourself. You have it to help build the nation. Read.
Philippians chapter 2 and verse 13. For it is God which worketh in you, both to will and to do of his good pleasure.
So we have to always remember that. The things that we have, one, we got to ask. With various things, we have to ask for the Most High to put the Spirit in us to want to do the work, to want to do his commandments. Because it's him that give us the Spirit. It's him that give us the understanding. It's him that give us all the things that we have. Read on.
Do all things without murmurings and disputings.
And we have to keep this in the mindset too. Do all things without murmuring and disputings. When we understand that when we have the understanding that everything we have is we only have it because the Most High gave us. Right. What we fighting about? What we murmuring about? What we disputing about? A lot of times we have conflicts with a brother, conflicts with a sister, things like that. And we'll be quick to point the finger at them. When a lot of times to that point of if you ask for patience, he's going to put you in situations to apply that patience. That's okay. If you lack patience and you ask him for patience, he's going to put you in that long line at the grocery store where you got the person at the front that pull out a bag of pennies and counting pennies. Yeah. And now you got to wait. You in a rush, but you got to stand there and be patient. Because there ain't no other lines open. You ain't got nowhere to go. You ain't got no out. Are you going to get there and get out the spirit limit? Hell, this store and put your cart away and leave? Or you going to be standing there and wait? Or you go to the bank? And those are little small examples. But that's the little stuff that test your patience.
And when you be in traffic.
Yep.
You try to get off. You're on the highway. It's gridlock. You try to get off on the next exit. It's gridlock still. You're like, dang.
Or you see the lane going next to you. Your lane slow. You get over there, and then that lane gets slow.
Yep.
I'll be like, all right. I see what you're saying, Lord.
So we got to.
You get up there, and then the exit will be on the other side of the highway.
Yep. So let's pull up. Let me see. Let's pull up video. Man, I want to get through a lot of these. Let's pull up video 6. Let's do 6 and 7, then we'll go to the commercial.
That's what we referenced earlier.
Yep. And get Psalms 23.
I think this video low anyway. Yeah.
Children, obey your parents in everything, for this pleases the Lord. Slaves, obey your earthly masters in everything, not only when their eyes on you, and to curry the favor, but with sincerity of the heart, in reference of the Lord.
Oh, I don't believe it. How old are you, boy?
I ain't been on you, sir.
Pay up, gentlemen. It's dangerous, you know. Teaching them to read? That's true. That Turner was taught to read.
Nonsense. Let me show you. Boy, can you
Look how
explain
smug he looks, boy.
Red?
He proud, thinking he got him defeated.
It's like a parrot reciting Shakespeare. Well done, Elam. Well done.
That shows you, it said, what it say in Isaiah, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee.
Yes.
You think that the pride they prideful.
Yeah.
Just like we see today, that you think that when we learn how to read, you read. The more you read, the more you're able to comprehend.
Yes.
Go ahead. Well, that was it. I thought it was more.
Right, ain't it more?
I thought it showed when he went into the
they did go back some
slave quarters.
Yeah. That's it. You got that thing hid like treasures. You got to treat it like a treasure. That's what it is.
And look what our people had to go through to read the Bible, and our people won't even read it today.
Lord have mercy.
Now I have heard the groaning of the Israelites whom the Egyptians hold in slavery, and I have remembered my promise.
And this also shows, because a lot of these slave movies, like what's the name of that other one? Is it Amistad? Because a lot of these slave movies, they depict us as Muslim. They show us as if we Muslim, but this right here, this showing that we knew who we was when we was early on. That's why they had to beat it out of us. That's why they had to, like Toby, they had to change his name because we knew who we were.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I am the Lord, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, and I will rid you out from under their bondage. And I will redeem you with a stretched out arm, and ye shall know that I am the Lord.
That's hope. That's the hope we always had. We know that there's a deliverance coming for us. It's just now a lot of us have lost sight of that. But read Psalms chapter 23, because this is what we see in this time frame. They taught us how to read. They thought that they was just teaching us how to read, but not showing us comprehension. They thought they was still holding us back, so to say. And it goes with even with a lot of these what you call them? What's the word I'm looking for? A lot of these people that try to say that we didn't go into slavery and the Bible ain't the white Bible, a white man's book, and all of this stuff like that. If the Bible was a white man's book, why did they fight tooth and nail to not let us read it? Right. Why were those things happening if the Bible is a white man's book? If they knew that this book was if this book was a white man's book, why did they twist everything that it says? They gave us a slave Bible. That's why he had to go. That's why they had the Bible hidden, because the Bible that they had them reading wasn't the full Bible. So read that in Psalm chapter 23. We're just gonna breeze through it. We're not gonna go scripture for scripture.
Psalms chapter 23 and verse 1. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want.
So the Most High is who take care of us, make sure we got what we need. Read.
He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters.
Read.
He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
Now that valley of the shadow of death is talking about captivity. When you look at Psalms chapter 107 and 10 through 14, read.
I will fear no evil,
Uh-huh.
for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
It's talking about the commandments. Read.
Thou preparest a table before me.
Thou preparest a table. Thou preparest the table. Let's get that precept for table. What's that, Isaiah or Habakkuk 2 and 2? If you got Isaiah, get Isaiah.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 8. Now, go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever.
So that table is talking about the Bible. It's talking about the Bible. We have the Bible because this is what we need to, kick back our memories to who we are, kick back our minds to cause us to remember that, wait a minute, this Bible talking about us. This is what the Most High used to bring us back to who we are. Right. Go back to Psalms 23 and verse 5.
Psalms chapter 23 and verse 5. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies.
That's a heavy point. It said, thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. That's what we just watched in the clip. The Bible still has our history and all of that in it. And in slavery, they eventually taught us how to read. We had Nat, like the slave, one of the slave masters mentioning this. He said, remember what happened with Nat Turner? Y'all taught him how to read, and he understood. He started to understand what he was reading. That's basically what he's referencing. But the slave, like, yeah, that's nothing. That was then. This is now. Let's ask him. So that thou preparest the table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Read.
Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over.
So that's the point. That's the main point that I wanted, because this Bible was preserved for us. A lot of because when you just think about what people be talking about, they be trying to say that the Bible ain't real, but they at the same mouth they say they believe that it's a higher power. They believe it's a God. So if it's a higher power, you think the men on this earth got more power and rule to taint the Bible so that we don't have what we need to get right.
Right. That would make your higher power weak.
Exactly.
Incapable, unable to do what he said he could do.
Right. So let's play clip 7, video 7. And we already read a script on this, unless y'all want, with this one, if y'all want to bring something else out. Nah, we ain't no time for 11 more videos. We spent 20 minutes on one, I think.
The only reason you boys ain't hurting is because you got the same skin color as God. But this is a one-time pass. Remember what happened to those northern boys in Mississippi. Y'all know which way to go.
He said, the reason I ain't stop you because y'all got the same skin color as God. All right, let's keep reading. Let's watch.
You've got to be kidding me. No, I'm not kidding. They're not fooling around, Michael. They will kill us. Why are you willing to die for this? Do you hear me? Why, Charlotte? Because our skin is not the same color as God's.
Woo!
So that's another nugget. Right, that's another nugget that they dropped in the movies because they know these things. They know these things, but they hide them in plain sight. But they know these things and they put it in movies. They know that the Most High don't look like them. They know that God don't look like him, but they put these little nuggets in movies to see where we at, to test us. But we'll be right back. We're going to go into the commercials. We'll be right back.
What do we got to do for salvation? Keep the commandments. Have these people taught you all to keep the commandments? No! Because everybody out here, I'm looking at you. You're breaking the Sabbath day. These people have done nothing but lie to you. Why? So when Christ returns, not only will the white man be destroyed, you all will too.
Who chose us? The Lord thy God have chosen thee. Who chose us? The Lord thy God have chosen thee. God himself chose us, brothers and sisters.
Or say, the world was made for who? The Israelites. This whole planet was made for you. For you. But guess what? Through your disobedience, now you're being punished. You've been put through curses because you broke and continue to break God's laws.
What were the children of Israel just called? I can't hear y'all. So who are the saints in the Bible? There we go. Y'all gotta take back your rightful places being men out here. You understand? As Israelite men, come back and stand up for the word of God. Get your houses in order. Help fix these sisters and get them back on the right track according to the word of God. What color are the Jews? What color are the Jews? What color are the Jews? That's right. We're black and we're proud. Say with confidence.
Brothers, Shalom, Most High Christ bless. Today we're going and do the carpentry project, alright? Yeah. We're just gonna give you hands-on experience and make it more marketable for the future. You understand what I'm saying?
Counting me out while I'm counting the cost, and I'm cold like the frost on your window and dead of the winter. I know that they send it pretenders and squad our members, but we never catch none of the shots that you send us in. We got a ruthless method just to check it. Sayonara, goodbye, getting disrespectful. Good God, no card for the incidentals. The damage you cause must be paid with your head.
We need that 63 plywood, 2 of them, 63. So who wants to do the first cut?
You and your crew. Who are you really? I give you a clue. Who changed the face of the judges? Who live by the sword and they weapons? Who telling the lies about Jesus? Jesus, who changed his appearance and features. What country adopted the eagle? That nation, the eagle. Just taught the Bible in a whole different language. Never been to London, but I got me a Cambridge. Heavyweight, big dog. Twice you want Bible in the host, fire in the host.
Yes. Oh, man. Oh, man, yeah. Yeah.
Read that. You stuck, we blessed.
We get upset, we get angry, but it's how you control yourself in that situation. It says to be at peace with all men. So
lives, right? Raise your hand if you know you want to better your lives. So, we're going to be discussing boyfriend and girlfriends. We see it. Raise You do not have to match people's energy. You guys understand what I'm telling y'all?
It's hard to find a lady.
Hey, Shalom Israel. Most High Christ bless. We're at a high school. We're about to present and teach about the scriptures, first and foremost, and let them know that they're all the Israelites according to the Bible. We appreciate the opportunity to come and teach the people who they are according to the Bible. Mr. King, what you got?
I think the greatest thing when we start talking about the Most High Christ, that he puts his angels on earth, such as you brethren, who understand the word, who can teach it. Not everyone opens up the book, understands the book, and they don't understand that type precept upon precept, and y'all do it well. And I thank y'all for coming out today.
Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all.
God said marriage is an honorable thing. We don't do that no more as a people.
My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy feet from their path. For their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood.
That's what the pastor was talking about. So the them there is those that you know in the community that are up to no good. Be three things that's going to happen in your life. Either you go to jail, you die, or your life is in disarray.
You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing that the Most High is doing for us right now. We're in the last days, waking up the 12 tribes of Israel.
All praise. Most High Christ bless.
Hey, shalom. Welcome back to another edition of Striving for Mastery's podcast, where we go in depth on what it means to be a prophet and the life of a prophet. And today we have a very, very special guest. Of course, I'm your host, Top G, and with me today I have
D-Side.
All right, now let's get right into the nitty gritty. D-Side, thank you for coming on the show, man. How you feeling?
Feeling good. Appreciate you, man.
What does it really mean to be a prophet? And also talk a little bit about praying for vengeance on the adversaries of the nation of Israel.
Okay. Yes, sir. Obviously, that's all detailed and outlined in the scriptures, and we put that into action. But if I can, I just love to do it in song, if that's okay.
Hey, crowd, what y'all think about that? T-Silent performing live, what y'all think? All right, so the people's ready, man. Let's hear it, man. We want to do it.
Check. Yeah. Yeah.
Grinding, I ain't got time to wait. Running, building bricks, I ain't got time to play. Determined, I need freedom, y'all better learn to pray. Luke 18, 50, got a whole
to wait. Running, building bricks, I ain't got time to play. Determined, I need freedom, y'all better learn to pray. Luke 18, vengeance, gotta hold on to faith. Gone, water me if I don't preach the gospel. Wanna be whatever the acts, continuing that. Yeah, and that's with the apostles. Lively, stone, type of time that I'm on. Mad at us cause they ass out while we in the house like Jerome. Prophecy come to pass while these heathens are sweating to make it last. Got so many faces they don't need a mask. But eating unbreakable, Mr. Glass, he created the wisdom with the faithful in the womb. Actions speak the loudest in the room. Gotta prep the bride for the groom, but get another end coming soon. Look, why you shook? We just reading words out the book. Never mind how long it took, cause God got the recipe, let him cook. Then he caught the crooks in the land of the thief and the home of the slave. Sent the prophets like a way to crash the party. And we're just getting it started. Eat them the target, Babylon, yeah, gotta burn. The vagabond finally got his turn. Ash died too, that's a bastard. Nukes for the dukes, that's a hazard. Deep coming through, drop the hammer, calling it home improvement. This is the life, it's more than a movement. Seed of Jacob, and we can prove it. Watch this, grind. I ain't got time to wait. Running, building bricks, I ain't got time to play. Determined, I need freedom, y'all better learn to pray. Luke 18, vengeance, gotta hold on to faith. Yo, grinding, I ain't got time to wait. Running, building bricks, I ain't got time to play. Determined, I need freedom, y'all better learn to pray. Luke 18, vengeance, gotta hold on to faith.
My man, wow. Hey, yo, that's fire right there. You know, I've been thinking about some of the same things you've been saying because I've been on this journey for a while as well. So here's a little bit where my take is on it.
T-Silent, I gotta talk to you. So many demons is ranting and raving, and man, I'm just trying to walk different. Pray for destruction, I'm building my faith. I got a lot on my plate, trying to get in them gates. Salute my angel on the way, I ain't got time to waste. Pushing this truth, I got time today. Professionalism, we make it work like a mechanism. If you ain't with my people, then it doesn't matter. So we ain't worried about nepotism. Exorcism, when I cast out the inner demons, they're lusting for vandalism, cause it's catastrophic. Cataclysm, ask the apostle, we got a mission like, listen up. Pray for destruction, can't get enough. I know that you think that you know where I'm going, but I'm bending bricks, so mount them up. Still in the service, count them up. 144,000, demonstrating true power. Wisdom rain, that shower, wasting land in less than an hour. Here's a chance, roll with a prophet, take a glance. Walk in our shoes, take a stand. Royal priesthood, Uncle Sam. Here today, then I'm out of pocket. Grinding hard, that's part of the topic. Cross the globe in the speed of light. Blasting off, just like a rocket. You can't stop it. Grind. I ain't got time to waste. Running. Building bricks, I ain't got time to play. Determined, I need freedom, y'all better learn to pray. Luke 18, vengeance, gotta hold on to faith. Let's go, we grinding, I ain't got time to waste. Running, building bricks, I ain't got time to play. Determined, I need freedom, y'all better learn to pray. Luke 18, vengeance, gotta hold on to faith. Let's go.
Man, wow. Hey, give it up, crowd. Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up. T-Silent, man, thank you for coming on the show, man. And we really enjoy having you. Thank you for giving us a little bit of understanding of what it means to be a prophet, and as well as praying for vengeance. And you always welcome back here on Striving for Mastery's podcast.
Likewise, Tom T. But I got a question real serious.
Yeah, go ahead, shoot.
That shirt. You mind explaining what that means?
Shalom, we are back. We are back. We're back. So we're gonna go right into the local news. We're gonna go right back and right into the local news. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we're gonna read that.
Man, 24 shot and killed during fight on South Side. A 24-year-old man was shot and killed after an altercation on the city's South Side. The shooting happened around 9:15 p.m. Monday on the 7500 block of South Eberhart in the Greater Grand Crossing neighborhood. Police said a 24-year-old man was standing on the sidewalk and became involved in a verbal altercation with another man who was armed with a handgun. According to police, a brief struggle ensued and the offender fired gunshots at the victim, striking him several times. The offender then fled the scene. The victim was transported to Jackson Park Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The medical examiner has identified the victim as DeWine Jones. No one is in custody, and Area 2 detectives are investigating.
So this is another senseless violence act that has taken place in Chicago. I'm sure this brother woke up in the morning and did not expect his life to be tragically taken over a simple argument.
Right.
And that's why we have those youth conflict resolution seminars.
Youth violence, conflict resolution seminars.
Youth violence, conflict resolution seminars to teach our people how to resolve issues. How to not to see value in each other, because to take somebody's life, we don't value each other.
Right.
I'm sure it was something that could have been easily rectified, but our people want to go straight to killing somebody. Now, two families is somebody lost somebody, and now this man gonna spend the rest of his life in jail over nothing.
Over none.
Right. So, give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 66. Matter of fact, start at 65.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 65. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind.
Right. So in the land of our captivity, these are things that we was going to have to deal with. A trembling heart. That means going to be constantly in a state of shock and post-traumatic stress and thinking your life is in danger all the time.
Anxiety, always looking over your shoulder.
Right. It says, and failing of eyes. So you always, we are getting tired of seeing our people shot down in the street over nothing. And sorrow of mind is going to that depression. Like I said, this man might have had kids. The person that shot him could have had kids and family, people that depended on them. Now everybody's life is thrown in a whirlwind because of some emotional outburst you have without actually taking account to your action and thinking forwardly about how it's going to affect everybody. Because we're not just living for us, right? We have to get these conflict resolutions under control. So read.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life.
Right, so we saw that this young man, 24 years old, has no assurance of life. And this is a common thing here in Chicago. So these things must be addressed. We have to come back to the Word of God, know how to deal with our people. And guess what? When we see something, we must say something. Because if that was your son, if that was your father, if that was your uncle, you would want somebody to say something so justice can be served. If we do not say anything, guess what? We part of the problem.
Most definitely. Let me get, you finished?
Yes, sir.
Let me get Sirach, chapter 9. Sirach, chapter 9. Be the Watchman. Be warning you on how to actually deal. When you read the article, it says that he was involved in an argument with a man that had a handgun.
Right.
Was that wise?
No.
Okay. All right. Let's read the wisdom of our forefathers to show us how to move in these mean Chicago streets. Or wherever you tuning from, you tuning into from the mean streets of Nebraska. You tuning in from the mean streets of Salt Lake City, wherever you at, right? You tuning in. People are the same everywhere, regardless of what's recorded and what's actually put on the news. We the same everywhere, no matter where we go. But keep this in mind while we here in Babylon. Read
the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9 and verse 13.
Uh-huh.
Keep thee far from the man. Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill.
No, get close and up personal with the man that got the 30 shot.
Right.
Get close to him.
Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill.
Argue with him.
Right.
Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill.
You gotta know and assess that in these places that we live, there's a potential for you to be put to death by the words that come out of your mouth. Somebody could be having a bad day, and you could have just been the needle or the hay that broke the camel back, or the straw that broke the camel back.
Right.
And he snapped. We have to consider that our people that's in the world, they not all together sound in the mind. They don't make sound judgments.
For real.
But you who are reading, you who are watching this radio episode, guess what? You have a sound mind. You can use discernment to say, okay, when is it necessary to assert authority and when is it not? Because what it looked like, what happened based off of reading, it was a slinging contest. I'm gonna have the last word. No, I have the gun. I have the last word. Read.
So shalt thou not doubt the fear of death. And if thou come unto him, make no fault.
Make no fault. Make no sudden moves. Don't say the wrong thing.
Lest he take away thy life presently.
He kill you in cold blood, like we just read on the article. Read.
Remember that thou goest in the midst of snares.
We in a trap, right? We in hell. We are in the midst of snares. Everything that we do could potentially be the last thing we do because we living in hell. Read.
And that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city.
We walking through the hardened places of the city, the coldest places of the city, the worst parts of the city. All right, the west side of Chicago. But that's it.
You know, to add to what you were saying, it says agree with thy adversary, right? It says, you know what brothers will do to be hard? Hey, man, you ain't about to shoot nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
I seen a video, man saying, man, you ain't about to shoot nothing. Then he shot me.
And turned away and walked on. Is that him?
Yeah. It was some girls, too.
Oh,
It was some girls. She going to him back and forth, and she like, man, you ain't about to shoot nothing. Shoot me if you bout it or something. And then she shot. She's like, oh, she shot me. I wish I would have put up that video. I said, these people.
Well, you asked for it.
Right. Just like off of, that would have been a good clip for you for this. And Mr. Society, remember, he said, man, you ain't about to do nothing. Remember, and then he shot him. Man, so.
That goes into him when it said, make no fault.
Right.
Lest he presently take your life away.
Exactly.
That goes into, it was another video similar to that where the two men had guns. One of them put the gun down and thought he was going to fight with him. Dude, let him put his gun down there and shot the shit out of him. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be mindful. Don't even be arguing with nobody. People ain't not trying to fight no more.
No.
You don't got no time to even be arguing. Just don't. Once you see that the conversation is escalating to a point where y'all about to fight, or you seeing people getting their feelings, bro, just end it.
Yeah,
that's the best thing that you could do.
That's another episode of when keeping it real goes wrong. You know, you ain't finna. What's the play me or treat me like a goofy? I ain't finna. Nah. Yeah, I'll be a goofy right now. You got the ups on me.
Right.
I'll be a goofy, but I'm gonna be a goofy that live another day to make sure my sons grow up.
Right.
To make sure they can complete the mission, continue the mission, so that I can guide my household. Because I know what it's like without having a father in the house.
Right.
And I don't want that. So you got to consider more than just yourself and your pride and your ego in that moment. Consider the things that you could potentially lose and harm in you keeping it real.
That's learning the difference between being stupid and being scared.
Yeah.
You
ain't no wrong with being scared.
You ain't gotta be coined as scared to walk away from a situation. That's called being not stupid.
Yeah. Message. Ain't nothing wrong with being scared, but it's everything wrong with being a coward. Right. You know what I mean? Because that fear, having that little something that makes you scared, causes you to actually do something.
Right.
But a dummy will say, I ain't scared of nothing.
Right.
So that means you ain't scared of God. So God can't motivate you to do anything.
Right.
You're just going to die and continue the cycle of destruction in our neighborhood. Or in our community, I should say.
All right, so next clip, or next article. So this is going into, it's local news, but it's also world news, because this is going to start here in Chicago. So let's read that.
Trump plans a massive immigration raid in Chicago next week. Report.
You heard that? Mass immigration raids is going to begin in Chicago, right? Because what they did was, right, they trucked all of the Venezuelans here from the border, because we have, quote unquote, a sanctuary city. And now they spent all the money to get them here, put them in the houses, spent millions of dollars to feed them, to give all the resources that they have. And now they got to spend all the money to the law enforcement to ship them back to where they came from. So just think about it, all the tax money, all the money that they're doing, and it's just wasting people's money. And guess what? Our taxes is getting higher and higher. Food is getting higher and higher. Gas is getting higher and higher. Everything is just, so it's affecting all of us by their lack of planning and care of the resources that's bestowed upon us.
No, officer, don't get it twisted. Everything they do is 20 steps advanced before they show us the moves. Now, what they doing is the setup to get rid of more than just the people that they pushed up here. Because the people that they pushed up here, they everywhere. They don't know where they at particularly.
Right.
So they finna send ice out here and they finna be knocking on doors.
Right.
They finna be going to these temp services where they be working. They finna go to the Home Depot. They finna just pull you over in your car. They gonna be doing anybody. They don't care what your skin look like. They could pull over a light-skinned person like you because you look like you Venezuelan.
Damn.
You look like one of them.
I be having some.
And you might have your documentation and it'll still be like, I don't care. This is Esau we dealing with.
On the funny side, some Venezuelans came up to me speaking Spanish.
How I know that?
I said, man, I don't know what y'all talking about. I go back to the last. I want you to read underneath.
But to finish the point I was making is that was the setup. Like they don't just do anything for nothing.
Right.
Like the money that they use is because they have a plan that they trying to implement, and they want to remove more than just the people that they put up here.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's read underneath that picture.
File photo. Tom Homan, President-elect Donald Trump's. Can y'all make that bigger?
Border.
President-elect.
Well, okay.
President-elect Donald Trump's appointee for Border Cesar speaks ahead of a visit by Trump during the America Fest 2024 conference sponsored by conservative group Turning Point USA in Phoenix, Arizona.
Hey, man, y'all heard my man's eyes, man. He can't see that.
All praises, man. You got some good eyes, though.
U.S. December 22nd, 2024. President-elect Donald Trump plans a massive immigration raid in Chicago with up to 200 officers involved, according to a report.
You heard that? So it says, when is it going to start? Read.
For people familiar with the plans, told the Wall Street Journal.
When is it supposed to happen?
I was about to say it right now.
For people familiar with the plans, told the Wall Street Journal that the raid is expected Tuesday morning, a day after he's inaugurated.
So he's going to be inaugurated tomorrow. So they say Tuesday, this about to jump off.
When do they announce raids, though?
What?
Did they announce Diddy's raid when they raided his place?
Right.
Well, they did it. We about to raid your place. Or we about to raid. They don't announce raids like something don't sound and sit right with this to me, period.
Right. Well, we're going to show see.
All
right, so read.
The agents will reportedly target undocumented immigrants with criminal backgrounds, with offenses such as traffic violations.
So that's a criminal background. So anybody that's been pulled over in the system, they're going to be targeted. Or not have any papers.
Undocumented, yeah.
Right, undocumented. So read.
However, the raid will round up people in the country illegally, even without criminal backgrounds.
So everybody.
Right.
Like you say, if the people that look like they know the king,
yeah.
People that been here their whole lives,
right,
doesn't even make a difference.
Yep.
So read.
We're going to start right here in Chicago, Illinois. Trump's incoming border Cesar, Tom Homan, said at a holiday party in Chicago.
So they talking about this during their wicked Christmas.
So that's that Issacharite who the father came over for a good life, started working, brought his wife over. They started working. They doing good, right? But they never went through the system to legally be here on paper, right? And they had a child. This child, 20 years old now, but they never documented that child was here.
No, well, I think a kid is automatically documented when they're born in
when they go paperwork. They never went to get the paperwork because remember they undocumented. They scared to go to the system.
No, but it's a rule. But I think they're getting rid of this rule. But it's a rule if you're born in America.
You know that rule. Maybe they didn't know that rule.
Well, no, they know. Issachar know. They will. They will verse.
A lot of times that's why they come.
Yeah, right.
They come so the baby can be born on and here so the baby could be American.
Exactly. They know. If they don't know nothing else, they know that one for sure.
All right. So, we'll see.
So read.
The Journal reported, and if the Chicago mayor doesn't want to help, he can step aside. But if he impedes us, if he knowingly harbors or conceals an illegal alien, I will prosecute him.
Damn.
That's basically if a nation,
Damn.
a nation divided against itself cannot stand.
Man.
So, read.
Give him up. Damn.
Trump has vowed to begin mass deportations on day one of his second term. He and his allies have also threatened officials in so-called sanctuary cities who refuse to help law enforcement agents. Trump said he will implement the largest deportation effort in American history.
They voted for him. No, they wasn't. They can't vote. They're legal.
Right.
On his first day in office, targeting an estimated 11 million undocumented immigrants in the U.S. He has also suggested using the U.S. military and invoking the 1798 Alien Enemies Act to carry out deportation.
Wow.
So they hell-bent on basically destroying these families because they already, to get them here, I don't know if y'all remember, to get them here from the border, a lot of children were lost. Y'all remember that? Thousands upon thousands of children was lost and displaced from their actual parents. And now what you think is going to happen again? If they got to get shipped away again, you think they're going to keep them all together? All these things are just a revolving door of just passing our people around like cattle. And nobody gives a damn about it.
Pull up the Alien Enemies Act. It's worth being mentioned, absolutely. If you can find it quickly.
That's what he just spoke on, right?
Yeah, about Trump invoking the Alien Enemy Act. And it's going to actually tie into what I spoke about earlier, about if you just look like it.
Right.
You're not necessarily fitting their criteria, but if you just look like it, right? So they're going to target you. And then they're going to say, all right, they are from this country. Sitting their ass back. Documented or not.
And who is...
Documented or not.
That's what I was about to say. Who is going to regulate...
Go up. That right there. The AI overview. Yep.
The Alien Enemies Act is a law that gives the U.S. government the power to detain, relocate, or deport non-citizens from countries at war with
that ain't the one. What's the one on the top? What that say? Is that it?
Right underneath.
Mine Wikipedia? Okay, mine Wikipedia. My fault. Where's the one for Wikipedia? Yeah, I like that. The highlighted part, the pink. You see that? The purple? Right there. Right there.
Alien Enemies Act. Under this law, the president could authorize the arrest, relocation, or deportation of any male over the age of 14 who hailed from a foreign enemy country. It also provided some legal protections for those subject to the law.
So that's anybody. Any man from another country, you are subject under this law to be deported. They had to create a law to supersede any other privileges that they allow undocumented or people from other countries seeking citizenship here. That's crazy.
And when I'm reading the law, it's crazy because it said deportation of any male over the age of 14. So that means they ripping families apart.
Most definitely.
Just like that. It's a law, because how the hell is somebody under 13, they got to stay? Who they going to stay with?
Right. The streets, the gangs.
Right.
Auntie, mama.
All right, that's it. So that's the national / local news that's going on here in Chicago. So everybody has to be aware. It might be a lot more crime happening with all this going on, and people not trying to go back to where they done made their country turn to hell. So be mindful. Keep your eyes on the swivel. Keep your head on the swivel anyway.
That's it. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the last black facts you don't know, Jack. Got the fro, so it's fitting right now. Too,
That's right.
All right, so let's show that. Show what our people did under
Am I the only one who
pressure.
didn't know about Miami's first black? Am I the only one who didn't know about Miami's first black millionaire? It's a story that deserves to be told. Let's dive into the fascinating and inspiring story of Dana Dorsey. Born in 1872 to former slaves, Dana Dorsey moved to Miami with just a 4th grade education, but a heart full of ambition. But that didn't stop him from dreaming big. From humble beginnings, he bought one parcel of land at a time, building rental properties and creating substantial wealth. His real estate empire grew significantly, including owning Fisher Island, a jewel in Miami's crown. Dorsey didn't just build wealth, he built a thriving community. He established Miami's first black bank and black-owned hotel, transforming Overtown into the vibrant heart of Miami's black community. His legacy is a powerful testament to resilience, vision, and hard work. Dana Dorsey, Miami's first black millionaire, showed us that with determination and grit, even the tallest mountains can be scaled, no matter the odds. Keep dreaming big, just like Dana Dorsey did, and let his story inspire you.
So we have to, this is really remarkable that he did this underneath the Jim Crow, all the lynching, all the different rules they had in place for people to not even buy a home, but he was able to build all of this wealth because of his resilience and his fortitude to be able to stay focused on what his dream was. And I did a little research. He started out by just being a regular carpenter. He was a carpenter. He bought a little parcel of land, and guess what he did? He built small houses on that land that he acquired, and then he rented that out, and then he built on that. So sometimes you just start off with something small, and it can grow into something big. And our people, like I said, we the salt of the earth. We could do anything that we put our minds to, and we want to show our people the accomplishments that our people have done in the face of all type of adversity. Because when I was in school, I did learn a lot about the different people, Madam C.J. Walker and George Washington Carver, and the people that was doing it, but there's so many more. And that's what we want to bring light to on this show. So I want to give an actual picture of the man, because that was an AI picture. So we want to show him in his olden, more seasoned days, but that's all. I just wanted to show that before it goes off, because the AI take away from, how he actually look. I want to see how the man actually look, All right,
Absolutely.
So that's him. So this is D.A. Dorsey, all right? So this man was an entrepreneur that cared about his people. Oh, yeah, because the first housing that he did, we read that, I know we ain't got a lot of time, I know. The first housing he did was for black people, of course. You know why? Because they wasn't allowed housing. This is why he started his business. What do you think the hotel he had, who do you think could stay in the hotel? We couldn't stay in hotels. The banks, guess what? Even when, remember the bank gave the people the money at the Tulsa massacre, then they gave them the money, they had to put out 2 loans on that same church, but that was the white people money. He started his own bank. So this man was solution-oriented, and that's how we got to be. We got to be solution-oriented with our affairs and being self-sufficient.
Facts.
All right, so that's all I got. This was a Watchman radio show. I'm Officer Abel.
Hey, shalom, shalom. Most High and Christ bless. This concludes the show. You've been tuning in to the Watchman radio show, the Decree of the Watchers. We've been watching for your soul. I'm Officer Semachiah.
Oh, praise. Officer Yoganan.
And I'll say it again.
That's the right order right there. There you go. There you go. Hebrews 13:17, prophets on the scene. Wash your souls clean before we go into the gasoline. Took a while to understand Psalms 111:10. Brother calling me from Mississippi trying to build a man. I flushed 14 grams, it made angels rejoice. It made me and Satan divorce, no spousal support. I'm running the course with my hand to the plow. Now putting in the pebble the way Soldier James taught me how. Break it